welcome to the Tom River Show. You gotta remember to press that button for the timer. I'm Pat O'Melia, your concerned Tom River resident there. That's why we do the show. Hopefully we can inform you, educate you, maybe a little entertaining. On the bottom of the screen, you see all the, Twitter, the YouTube, the Facebook, our live stream. Go to live stream. You can download the app. It's free. That's where we archive all our shows. It's our base streaming network. And there's a lot of other programming besides mine there, so you can enjoy that. And it's all free, which is a good word. Memorial Day washout. Rough way to start the summer season here in Seaside Heights in Toms River. And Seaside Heights is an economic engine for Toms River. Those people are coming down 37 and 35. They're stopping, they're buying, they're doing something in the stores and the retail. They're creating jobs and spending money. So we need good weather, and, man, hopefully we have a good summer season in Seaside Heights. The Shore Show is coming back. We'll be on the boardwalk. We're going to start working on a special, What's New in Seaside Heights. But there's a lot of new in Toms River. As you're coming in on Route 37, you got the new Farmers Deli. It's like a pop-up place. It's made out of old ocean-going containers. And it's a drive-up. You get your bakery, your milk, your coffee, and bread. Yeah, in and out of there. It's by Hooper and Route 37. Should be open by the end of the month. Got a new Dollar General on Route 37. You got Rick's Ice Cream down by Philly Cheesesteak. Used to be Burger 25. That's reopened already. And still no BP gas station on Fisher and 37. I have a BP account. I get like 5-10 cents off a gallon. Waiting for this place to open for like 2 years. And taking forever to get that done. All right, our topics today. The Toms River primary election coming up next week. Vaccination status, vote by mail ballots dumped, and the hottest real estate markets, Toms River and Seaside Heights. We'll be right back. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Stevens Jersey City Ford, located right off of NJ 440 North. Across the Hudson Mall is your one-stop for all your automotive needs. Check out Ford's latest models like the 2020 Ford Fusion with its stylish looks and hybrid options, or the unparalleled high-performance 2020 Ford Mustang. The 2020 Ford F-150 Raptor is ready for those rugged off-road terrains with trail control. Need a mid-sized truck for your towing and hauling? The 2020 Ford Ranger will deliver. The 2020 Ford Escape is a luxury SUV that was made for comfort and adventure on the go. Returning is Ford's legendary Bronco, which takes you back to the true meaning of off-roading. They are now available for pre-order in our showroom or on our website. Let us help you find your next vehicle. Stevens Jersey City Ford, 201-432-7272.
Cutting-edge surgical care is right here in Secaucus.
Robotic surgery is safer.
Shorter hospital stays.
Smaller abdominal incisions, the size of an M&M. Here at Hudson Regional, we provide world-class robotic surgical care.
We're back. Pat O'Melia, Toms River Show. You there, concerned Toms River resident? You got a big election coming up next week. It's the primaries. Hopefully the weather's good. Hopefully the weather's good for this weekend. It's supposed to be in the 80s. We don't have any rain. Rain during the week. Don't knock out the weekends here in Toms River and Seaside Heights. June 8th, you have the primary election. It is hotly contested. It's your basic. Everybody says, well, the elections are so dirty, and they're so, it's what elections are now. And for that matter, I think like every election I've ever covered, it just got dirty, got personal friendships and alliances are ruined, and very seldom do they all come back together. But at least you have some candidates. You take the homeland there, Jersey City, where most people from Toms River descended from, having a hard time getting people to run. Right now, there's supposedly opposition for the mayor race. This is probably the largest city in the state. We can't get candidates to run anymore. So I'm glad to see some here in Toms River. So what do you got? You have your ward seats in Toms River are up for election on the primary. And you can vote in person. We're free again. The mask is off. Social distancing, that's gone. So you can live. Here are your candidates. There they are. That's, as I call it, the Mo Hill slate on the top with my buddy there, Maria Maruca, and Dan Roderick slate on the bottom there. Now, in Ward 1, we have Maria Maruca and Justin Lamb. I don't know anything about Justin Lamb, but I've known Maria Maruca now for probably 10 or 12 years. She's one of the reasons that brought me to Seaside Heights with the television productions and the early years of the Shore Show. She brought us here. She's always been a good leader for Toms River. I see no reason why I shouldn't endorse her again, as I've endorsed her many a times. I like Maria. I think she's a good worker for the township of Toms River. Ward 2, you have Jason Crispin versus Dan Roderick. The controversial Dan Roderick. I like Dan. Yeah, and for somebody who covers politics and has to do a show every week, you need guys like Dan Roderick. He gives you information, material that we can come forward with every week. Because it's not easy writing a half-hour show every week. Actually, in my case, I write 2 shows. I also do the city show. I'm going to go with Dan again. Because I like having that 1 or 2 people on the council that are opposed to the others. I know Mo Hill would like everybody to be on the same page as him. But, I have problems with that with the Ocean County freeholders. Everybody's the same party. Everybody's locked on and we're all agreeing. I don't know if that gives us the best leadership. So it's always good to have 1 or 2 of those people. But right now we're talking all Republicans. There's a Democratic primary. Who knows what they're doing. In Ward 3, you got James Quinzalix versus Grace Piscopo. I like the name Piscopo. I don't know either of these people. So good luck to both. I don't know if she's related to Joe Piscopo. Hi, I'm from Jersey, the SNL guy from the years ago. He's a radio host now. In Ward 4, we got David Cicizari versus John Liacona. I don't know either one of those people, so good luck to both of them. I know who I know. I know they're good leaders. I know Mo Hill is like, oh man, Pat, you had to go with Dan. But Dan, again, he's been good to Toms River in the 4 years. I think he's always been good. Again, you need some opposition. I know Mo's like, oh man, but as it is, this is an inter-party battle between the 2 Toms River Republican clubs. And it'll be interesting to see going forward what happens if Mo's whole ticket doesn't make it or Roderick's whole ticket doesn't make it. How they work together if you have to combine those 2 tickets, because there is a general election in November, and you're going to have the survivors from these 2 tickets representing the GOP, and hopefully they can all get together. And you're going to have the Democrats, and do not for a minute kid yourself that George Gilmore is not going to be involved in the general election for Toms River. I can see George Gilmore running an independent ticket in the general election. I don't know, it could be independent Republicans for Toms River, but I can definitely see a 3-way dance. Going back to my old professional wrestling days when I broke into the media and the radio. I used to cover professional wrestling, Ted DiBiase, Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, all those guys. I used to cover and interview them. Using a wrestling term, a 3-way dance, and I'm certain there will be one. You'll have the Republican ticket, you'll have the Democratic ticket. If you recall, last time around, the Dems took 3 of those 4 seats. Maria Maruca won by about 208 votes, as I recall it. And whatever the George Gilmore ticket, it will be an independent ticket. I don't know if it will be independent Republicans for Toms River, but don't for a minute think George Gilmore is not involved in this upcoming election. For that matter, I'll show you a little connection when we come back between Gilmore and, I believe, the Roderick ticket. You're watching the Toms River Show. I'll be right back.
Hudson Regional Hospital, we promise to be prepared for your emergency.
We promise to provide world-class robotic surgical care.
We promise to treat you like family.
To provide accurate diagnostic care.
to provide the most innovative orthopedic care at your doorsteps.
We promise to treat your baby like our own.
To never stop investing in the best of spinal care.
To be with you every step of the way.
Here at Hudson Regional Hospital, we promise to take care of our community.
We're back, Tom Driver Show, Pat O'Melia here. Before I get to vaccination status, which is going to be a big issue going forward here in New Jersey, I think there's a bit of a connection between the Roderick ticket and Gilmore with the Ambrosia and Quinn for Assembly. Now, if you notice the campaign signs sticking on all the islands and grass, any grass spots in Tom's River, you notice these two signs there. They are two different tickets. One's the Assembly ticket and one is the Roderick ticket. Boy, they look pretty similar, don't they? You know, somebody said, well, they probably went to the same printer. Yeah, so the printer only had one sign. Yeah, welcome to my print shop. You want a campaign sign? Well, we only have one, but we have a really good deal on it. No, I think there's a hell of a connection between there. Now, George Gilmore has recently opened up a consulting campaign service where he's consulting and probably running campaigns. George is one of those guys in the background, like Buddy Demolier in Hudson County. He was a campaign genius, along with George Gilmore. I think there is a connection just looking at the signs. It's just be amazing to me. They both pick the same fonts and colors and all. And I'll tell you, when it comes to politics in Ocean County and Tom's River, that guy with the question mark there is no question he is the smartest political mind there is in Ocean County and Tom's River. All right, let's talk about some vaccinations. You remember COVID, that pandemic we dealt with? That's still kind of around. But supposedly we're at about 50% vaccinated in New Jersey. You know, I just did a story on the city show in Hudson County. And we were at full vaccination of about 38% in Hudson County. So we got a long way to go. And I'm sure those numbers aren't far different here in Ocean County. Now, there is questions about, could you be asked your vaccination status? Unless you're me there with a V on your head showing you've been vaccinated, and there's supposedly an honor system. When the mask came off last week, I was in ShopRite. We were in Big Lots. Because it was raining and so friggin' windy last week, we wound up doing a lot of running around. We were getting my kids' rental apartment ready for Airbnb guests. So we were running around in Tom's River doing some shopping. And almost every spot, the only place I didn't go was Home Depot. I went everywhere else. Everybody pretty much had their mask off. And if we're at around 50%, and I'm going to say in Ocean County, we're probably closer to Hudson County numbers, about 40%, then we got a problem with the honor system. Now, should you divulge your vaccination status? I'm completely vaccinated. I got my second shot on May 11th. You know, here we're in June, so I'm completely set. I got both the Pfizers. And also, I went 13 months before we even got the shots, you know, through the pandemic when I managed to avoid getting COVID. I never got an antibody test. Maybe I had this already. Should you disclose it? And people are saying, well, you got that HEPA, the medical, is it HEPA? Not HEPA. HEPA's a filter. HEPA, that's it, HEPA. That only pertains to medical organizations. That doesn't pertain to your employer or retail establishments, various businesses. And you're going to have to be straight with some. Of course, you're going to be straight with your physician. But, yeah, you're going to get some dental work. I think the dentist has the right to know if you've been fully vaccinated. Now, keep in mind, I'm fully vaccinated. I don't think I care if you haven't been vaccinated because I'm supposedly, immune to it now. Between the vaccination, like I said, I went 13 months. I probably have the antibodies. It's amazing that I was able to avoid this for 13 months, even though we took all the precautions we could in the studios. But, you're talking about a dentist. You're going to take an Uber ride. You're going to a movie theater. You go up on the boardwalk right now. People are lining up to get on the amusement rides. You go into the bars, the various businesses and pizzerias on the boardwalk. They're in there pretty tight right now. And the honor system, I'm not sure if we're being quite honorable as to the fact if we're vaccinated or not. The best thing you can do is make sure you're vaccinated. We have, I think in Hudson County, was like 55% of the people received the first shot. I might have the number. 54% received their first shot, and we're at 38% with the second shot. Probably those numbers are the same here. Double down, get the second shot, then you don't have to worry. One thing that they're talking about, this Indian variant for the COVID, get the second shot, you'll be safe, and hopefully our metrics don't rise up. But if the metrics go up, guarantee you there's going to be some sort of emergency order or emergency situation that's going to say you have to disclose your vaccination status. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching the Tom River Show. I'll be right back.
Pen and Pencil Properties, Jersey City. Shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces that address your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at penandpencilproperties.com. Pen and Pencil Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712. We're back. Tom River Show, Pat O'Melia here. Actually, I got a short-sleeve shirt on. The weather's nice outside. Recently, I suppose you watch the stories and read all the news sites like I do. There was a postal employee and a UPS employee who were both busted for dumping various articles of mail. And in those articles of mail were vote-by-mail ballots. See, there had been, I don't want to get into the conspiracy thing, election stolen, but I have a lot of questions and concerns about the vote-by-mail. Now that we're in the light, and we don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, we're in it. The only thing we need to do is make sure we get that second shot. And I'll throw this in there. I'm not agreeable with kids getting the shots, but that's up for you and your medical professionals to discuss that with your doctor. Adults certain age, yeah, we should get it. As we're in the light, if I can go on a ride or get pizza or go to ShopRite without a mask and no social distancing, we can vote in person again. And really the only way you and I can know for the most part that the election is on the up and up if we do it in person in the voting booth. The early voting, I know it's here in New Jersey. It's here, pretty much across the country. Problem with early voting is like if you're having some debates, the debates, we normally try to run those debates as close as we can to an election. I've done quite a few, and we'll do some for the general election in Tom's River. You want to run those as close as you can to Election Day. But if we got early voting 2 weeks ahead, it's hard. And it's hard to balance that out. And if you vote early, you may miss one of those debates where you see the candidates answering the questions and you get to really see them for an hour or so. You want to make an informed decision and have an informed vote. So you should get all the information you can. And the best way to do that, debates, all the mailers, listen to the interviews, the news stories. and then on election day, go in person. When they're now the ballots that would dump, it was like 90 or so, and there were other stories, even before these stories broke last week about postal guys getting rid of the ballots and dumping them. There's always going to be a concern. I come from Hudson County, where we have a horrible reputation when it comes to elections. Abusing absentee ballots, certainly abusing vote by mail ballots. I'm sure it's on the list. But we have people that are presently incarcerated for fooling around with absentee ballots. So we have a long history. But really, it's an old history with Hudson County, where most of you come from. That stuff going back into the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and so forth and so on. In the last, say the last 20, 30 years, at least far back as I've been covering elections, the only incidents of possible election fraud or tampering, whatever you want to call it, was in Hoboken with absentee ballots. Best thing to do, so we all know everything's on the up and up, you just go to the election booth, throw that switch. I can see somewhere in the future, because everything is online now. Everything's in the cloud. Everything. All lives are on smartphones and the computers and tablets. I can see somewhere in the future where we're going to vote, whether it's on a smartphone or on a computer, but we'll vote remotely. And to make sure that it's the best it can be on the up and up, you'll open up your app, your election app. You put your name and ballot number, whatever. You're still going to get a ballot, so there's probably a ballot number on there. And then you'll open it up, and then you'll get a text from the state of New Jersey or the city clerk or the county clerk, whatever it is. And you'll put your code in, and that'll verify who you are. Hopefully you're not sitting in, and their GPS will be able to determine where you are, of course, just like, if you bet on FanDuel, bet on the NFL, or you play the casino or something like that, you get a little code. For that matter, with our editing programs here, with Adobe and Premiere, anytime we do any change, we got to get a code and go through all these procedures so they know who you are. So if we can do that to place a bet on the Giants or change our editing program, or even if you're going to deposit a check. If you can deposit a check online now, then we can vote online. So I can see, I don't know if it'll happen in our lifetime, but I can see somewhere down the line. Actually, they got technology now where you can put your thumbprint on the cell phone that can open an app, and then you get your code. So that can be worked out. And now that we're out of that fog of the pandemic, that really brought along the vote by mail and the early voting and all that stuff, go to the voting booth. In my opinion, do away with the vote by mail. Go to the voting booth, throw that lever. That's the only way we'll know, for the most part, it's on the up and up. All right, you're watching the Tom's Rubber Show. I'll be right back.
Good Friend Self Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers the quality of life you deserve in 10 high-rise rental towers with amenities such as the on-site Newport Path subway, light rail and ferry service, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams Supermarket is just outside your front door. A health and fitness club, spa, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. NewportNJ.com. Enjoy the New York skyline from Newport Town Square. Manhattan is just one path stop away or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Want to visit Newport? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. Go to NewportNJ.com for details. Newport has luxurious towers, great restaurants, shopping, New York skyline views, schools, playgrounds, a marina and yacht club, gym, spa, fine wine, fine living. It's incredible. It's you. NewportNJ.com. Newport. Live like you want.
We're back. Tom's Rubber Show. Pat O'Melia here. The hottest markets, the real estate markets in New Jersey, You know where they are? Right here. Tom's River and Seaside Heights, especially the shore areas. The North Jersey and New York City, they are flocking. They are flocking, and that means they are flying in here. They're flapping their arms and flying into Tom's River, Seaside Heights, Seaside Park. You put a sign up for sale, you're going to get a lot of people looking at it. Problem is, if you sell, where are you going? The market is there. It's a huge pandemic bubble. If you want to make an investment right now, it's probably not the right time. For that matter, my daughter owns an investment property in Seaside Heights. She's thinking about getting another house. I told her, because the house sits on a huge piece of property. Said, maybe the best thing to do is build another house. Actually, you can knock down the existing and build two families, 3 families. Keep one apartment like we do here for the family, and the other 3 or 4 could be rental units, whatever. The market is that hot. Now, what Mayor Boz has done in Seaside Heights since he's been the mayor, and I guess he's coming up on like 5 years, I suppose, he's looking to have a year-round Seaside Heights, as it was in the old days. At one time, Seaside Heights, there were pharmacies and supermarkets and gas stations. All that's gone. Somebody went all in on tourism. If you go around Seaside Heights, probably way more than Tom's River, I believe, there is new construction going on everywhere. I mean, you see wood and 2x4s everywhere. The plywood, they're building houses left and right. And this market, Seaside Heights, the Jersey Shore, is the hottest markets in New Jersey right now for homes. Like I said, you put a sign out to sell, you're going to have people lined up outside. Same thing in Tom's River. People, and they're escaping from North Jersey. A lot has to do with working remotely. How much that remote working is going to continue in the future, I suppose there's going to be some percentage of working remotely, but there are some jobs where you have to be there. Now, I know once the pandemic bubble bursts and we get back into some form of what was normal, I don't know if we'll ever return to a normal, but there'll be what they call a new normal anyway. How these people who will flock down to the Jersey Shore will feel about driving or taking, there's no trains really down the Seaside Heights, or taking mass transit as best you can, or park and ride, going back and forth into Brooklyn or Staten Island or Jersey City, that sort of thing. That becomes very time consuming. And driving up and down, toll and fuel wise, becomes very expensive. So if you're thinking about investing, because you look at Seaside Heights, the steel structure, the skeleton, that's supposed to be coming down mid-June. Bamboo, they got the construction fences over all the way around the bamboo. That's coming down by mid-June. You have a tremendous amount of properties that are going to be available on the boulevard here. You got the steel skeleton, you got the bamboo, you got 2 huge parking lots right off Hamilton. One used to have a nightclub. They knocked that down last year. You got the 2 parking lots. You got a big lot, vacant lot, over by the church off of the boulevard there. There is a lot of investment property that is going to be available. Calmer, I don't know what happened with that. That's still standing, but that's up for sale. There is a lot of land available and a lot of possibilities here in Seaside Heights. So if you got the money and you're looking long term, and all that construction I mentioned in Seaside Heights, that's not summer rentals. Those are year round. You got the money and you're looking long term, I'd go look at Seaside Heights. All right, I'm out of show. You be good. You be safe. I'll talk to you during the week. Good night.